Speaking of sports heroes, Penny Hardaway, man, got a lot of stuff going on at the University of Memphis. You started off the show when we were, going through the show run through, talking about, hey, man, I don't think the kids coming to Memphis. Like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, what happened? Come on, man, this is your segment, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, so obviously, Arthur Kaluma has been mentioned quite a bit regarding the University of Memphis when they lost out on David Jones. When David Jones stayed in the draft, everybody well, Arthur Kaluma is the next guy up. Well, friend of the program Leon Taylor and friend of the program Jason Munns both reported today Penny's never even talked to Arthur Kaluma.
Is that real, man? Or is it cap?
At this point, if he hasn't reached out to Arthur Kaluma, then I'm like, what the hell, bro? Like, what the hell? Number one. But number two, maybe it is. I'm not downgrading any of those two guys as reporting on this, but I'm just saying, like, it's wild to me to think that Arthur Kaluma hadn't been reached out to because what we were basically told is that because we've done our own digging on it since those two reports came out, is that the idea of Arthur Kaluma to Memphis came from Arthur Kaluma's camp itself, trying to drive up his NIL price. And so
Penny ever had a conversation with him.
That's what Penny has said that. Penny has said to other reporters in the city, I've never talked to Arthur Kaluma. The craziness around Arthur Kaluma and people thinking that he was coming here was being pushed by Arthur Kaluma's camp to raise up his NIL asking price, which smart, good job, guys. You did it. But yeah, man. So I think our also friend of the program, Hitman Hoops, reported that, and I got to find his name, but there's a UNLV kid that that they're reaching out to now. We'll see, man. We'll see.
Yeah. All right. Well, can I throw out what that sounds like to me? And you tell me what it sounds on base or off base.
Yep.
All right. Penny Hardaway is head coach at the University of Memphis, right?
Right.
Rick Stansberry is his assistant coach, who's been taking the lead on a lot of the recruiting stuff, right? He's kind of been the guy who's kind of sealed the deal, initiated conversations, all those type of things. A lot of guys. Could this be that Penny could be telling the truth, that Rick Stansberry could be the guy who's handling this recruiting, and now we're posturing with the Kaluma people like, look, like this is just something we're doing to like, look, we're not going to screw around with y'all. This is what's on the table for y'all. If you want it, come get it. Could it be that? Could it be something like that?
Based on what I've heard, no.
Damn. What are we doing? Hey, you know what, bro? The Grizzlies need a center. This could be the offseason. That could put us in the NBA Finals next year. I don't have time to deal with Penny, man. We're going to put this out to the side. I'll deal with that in November or something, man. I mean, that's not making any sense, bro.
But it could be, but based on what I've been told, no, it's that yeah, there hasn't ever been a conversation.
Yeah, I don't have time for that. All right, but there is other stuff going on.
I feel like a dummy because I've been all over Ball City Media's airwaves going, yeah, I'm not worried about Arthur Kaluma.
Yeah, man,
he's coming.
Seen, edits and the kid with a Tiger jersey on. And
yeah, man.
Who was the kid I saw like had a picture of him and his mama on the thing? What was that, bro?
I don't know.
I don't know what I was looking at. It was about that even been Memphis. Some kid was posed up with his mama in his edit. Anyway, we'll move on. But
he loves his mama, man.
Hey, exactly. Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. But also Mike Davis, former Indiana coach, he coached somewhere in one of our conferences too.
He coached at I think. Was it UAB? I might be wrong about that.
I feel like I remember him going against us, like a long time ago. Mike Davis, who maybe this is a old picture I'm looking at, but it seems like he's not aging. I'm hoping this is an old picture I'm looking at, because if not, this dude's a vampire. Because he looks great, he looks amazing.
What do they say, man? Black don't crack.
He was at Detroit Mercy, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, he's going. That's official. That's happened, right? He's joining.
Yes, it was announced that he is coming. He is in some kind of role. He's going to play. Yeah. I don't think he's going to be an assistant coach. I think he's coming on as an advisor, which kind of along the same lines as a Larry Brown. But even though Larry Brown was, on the bench as well. But yeah, man, it can't hurt. I mean, Mike Davis is
12 dudes getting a check over there next year. So he's like, bro,
hey, man. Penny ain't hurting for staff. I'll tell you that, man. He's got plenty of people coming through.
Yeah. Also, rumors of former Louisville assistant coach Nolan Smith could possibly join the staff as well. That sounds pretty good.
I think so. Penny and Nolan Smith have been rumored together for quite a while. Nolan Smith was an assistant coach under Mike Krzyzewski at Duke. Obviously, played for Mike Krzyzewski at Duke. And so when Mike Krzyzewski was on his way out, Nolan Smith was like, listen, I want to be a bench coach. His role at Duke was he was a kind of a director of player personnel kind of a role, and he wanted to be a bench coach. And so in that interim time where he was talking to Penny, Mike gave him a job on the bench at Duke. Obviously he left Duke when Mike left and became the head coach at or became assistant coach at Louisville. All you gotta do is Google it, man. Some really nasty stuff went down at Louisville with Nolan Smith and Kenny Payne. But so we'll see, man. It's just rumors. I don't know how true it is, but or even if it's gonna happen or not, but there's just conversations being had.
And I think it was last episode we talked about people who we didn't know what color, like we totally thought they were another color till we saw them, right? Like, I'm not a college basketball guy.
You thought Nolan Smith
did not know Kenny Payne was a black man.
Oh, you didn't? No. Yeah, man.
Not at all. Look, the coach of Louisville was a black dude.
Yeah. Kenny Payne was wild. Let me tell you, man, Kenny Payne had the most crazy storyline that happened in college basketball last year. Tyler Johnson, who was committed to the University of Memphis, was denied entrance to the University of Memphis due to academic stuff, ended up going to Louisville, and Kenny Payne comes up there on a press conference after the game, and he basically goes off on Tyler Johnson for threatening to not play the game because he didn't have the right sleeves or the right leg warmers or whatever you want to call them.
Right.
And it's just the most embarrassing. Like, I just was like, Kenny, what are you doing, bro? Like, why are you outing your players publicly like that in front of media? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you can get all you can be upset about that, but it felt weird and awkward. And so Kenny Payne was a disaster at Louisville. He's back in Kentucky. But anyway, so Nolan needs Nolan needs a job, man.
Yeah. So that might be pretty dope for Penny. We heard Elliot Perry talking about coaching, continuity at the University of Memphis. I think this is, hopefully Penny can get that staff a little bit more solidified going forward. He's got about 12 dudes on payroll. So we'll see how the whole thing works out.
Yep. Yeah, I just don't get too hot and bothered by coaching changes, assistant coaching staff changes. Like, I know a lot of folks don't like it, and even Elliot Perry was talking about it. I just kind of go, whatever. Like, not a big deal.
Yeah.
But